So now that the wet bikes are done, I'm on to the Mustang. I've just barely gotten started here. What I've done here is I put the front and back clip on. Right about where that line is where the back clip goes on, and then the front clip is actually pretty long. You remember me saying that the body looked kind of short and fat, but now when the front clip is on, it actually looks correct. It actually looks really correct. This was actually molded really well. And I have done just the slightest little bit of flash trimming. This is clearly, when you're using an original release and it hasn't been repopped a million times, it's clean. I mean, just precise. And look at the hood. It's got a really good looking hood. This is not a big beefy V8 with a blower and everything. It's just got, actually, just gotten started on the motor here. I didn't have the correct blue in spray, so I actually brush painted this. It's not the best, but it's going to have to do. This is a tall, skinny motor. It's a turbocharged 4-cylinder, and that's where I am on that. And what I'm doing this morning, I'm getting ready to paint this body, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of go with the box color. I've found some sapphire blue that I'm going to be doing the two-tone, the little bulge on the hood and the skirt, and then the rest of the body is going to be white. I did have a temptation to paint it red. I had just painted this gas can over here, and it came out, this is Rust-Oleum, some shade of red, but it just really always comes out really good. And for a second there I almost painted it red, but it wouldn't look good with the wet bikes on the trailer. By the way, wet bikes I put in the display case to keep the dust off of them for now. And barely started on the undercarriage. That's I'll get that all together, and I'm not going to concentrate too much on that because this particular car is really more about the looks on the body, with all the spoilers and window covers and all the 80s styling. I'm really liking this one so much. So I'm about to paint this white, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so these are painted now. Really came out good. I think so, anyway. There's the hood. Let me get a good look at that. Came out nice and shiny. This is 4 coats of, I used the cheap paint again. Classic Color Place from Walmart. The whole can was 97 cents. Keep using it for everything. Pretty good finish, I gotta say, for how cheap the paint is. Of course, you gotta put on the coats to get the finish. And then there's the body, the rest of the body anyway, and it's nice and white. I'm happy with that. That will do. Okay, so the next step, I'm going to let that cure for at least probably about 3 days so that I can touch it and put tape on there and mask it off. And then I'm actually going for what they show on the box. That center section of the hood will be blue, as will the skirt all the way around. And then I'll decide what I want to do with that that bumper guard, that rubber strip there. It would look good if I can make it exactly like it is there. I'll give it a try. Paint the center part of it red, and then probably use a Sharpie on the rest of it there. I think I can pull that off. And yeah, we'll see where we get with it. Hopefully by then I'll have some of these other parts painted as well. Alright, at this point on the Mustang, I've got the chassis painted. I'm just going very basic here. just a kind of undercoating type of a look, and I'll detail a little bit more, probably paint the exhaust in the tank. Maybe not, I'm not sure. I'm not really interested in the bottom of this one. Engine still haven't gone any farther on that. But working on the body here, I've masked off, I'm doing the two-tone, and I've masked off half the hood, just keeping the middle part exposed, and I painted it in the sapphire blue, and it's looking pretty good. And same thing with the body. Did a lot of masking on the body, masked the whole body, besides the exposed skirt, so that I can make that look nice. And I'm about to pull the tape off to see if I got any overspray on the white part, and I'm sure we'll see that next. So, pulled all the tape off, and this is what we get. It looks really good from a distance. As you can see, masking worked out really good because I have that little cheater there, that door guard made it really easy to mask. And so this bottom section here, as you can see, is nice and shiny and perfect. And so the skirt is great, and as did the bulge on the hood, turned out really great as well. But we got a problem. As you saw, I kind of did this in reverse order. When you're doing a two-tone, you really should paint the bottom part and hood bulge first, so you won't have to tape the whole body up like that. And that actually was the problem. I rushed this. The white paint was not cured, and so when I put tape on it, you can see this this marking that showed up. Now this is not tape residue, because I had some on the hood right here, and I tried to polish it off with some new finish, and it just kind of smeared and just made it worse. And this is because this white paint, this is the way the hood looked, the white part of the hood looked before I tried to do the new finish, and then this is the way it looks afterwards, just kind of smeared around. And this showed up in a lot of the places where the tape was taped directly to the paint. Now, I've never had this happen before with this blue tape, so this is a result of, right here on the trunk, this is a result of rushing it, taping it up before it was cured. You got some on the side here. But this, of course, can be rescued. What I'll be doing is I'll be doing a wet sand on these areas that got messed up, and then I'll be taping this up like I should have in the first place. I'll be taping up the blue, which is tester's color. I'm positive it can take the tape. And yeah, so I'll be taping up the blue part and then respraying the car with white. But then again, another problem rose, and you probably saw it already. Here on the hood, for the same reasons, now the white paint underneath that blue paint was not cured. So what happened here, you see this dent? I had accidentally set the body down on the hood, and this little part of the back of the body was resting right on the hood and gouged it. And this is just a gouge in the paint. Of course, it's not a gouge in the plastic. That's how thick the paint is. It was 4 coats of white and about 4 coats of blue. So this is ruined. That can't be saved other than repainting, which is no problem, honestly, because I wanted to get that emblem off anyway. So what I'm going to do here, I'm out of blue, but this is going to work out okay, because if you remember, I was kind of wanting to paint the whole thing red anyway. I'm not going to paint the whole thing red. I'm going to keep it white and blue here, the main body white and the skirt blue, but on the hood, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with this Rust-Oleum that I painted this gas can with. And really, really liking that color. I've never painted a whole car with that, and this is up here. It is Sunrise Red by Rust-Oleum, and it's a great color. And I'll be painting whole cars with that here eventually. But what I want to do here, and I'm sure of this, is make this car red, white, and blue. And I'm going to paint that bulge that color, that Rust-Oleum. And that's going to be fantastic. But for now, I know it's tough to do this, tough to watch this, but I've brought the strip tank over, and it's time to dunk the hood, because this all has to get stripped off. And so I'm going to get this, you know, in the bulge part, that's 8 coats of paint, 4 coats of white and 4 coats of blue, and it's just time to put it in there. And the next step, and here it goes. Let me put that in blue. I know y'all are cringing looking at that beautiful blue paint, but that's beautiful blue paint that's ruined. And in it goes. And by the end of the day, all that paint will be off of there. How about that? It sank. Anyway, I'm going to kind of speed this up with these updates. The next scene should be this car, the body repainted white, and the hood bulge will be red. And it will probably be a week from this to that, but that's what I'll be showing next. Okay, so here we are. This is where we're at now. I have repainted the white part of the Mustang. As you can, and look, pretty good, huh? And what I was really doing was showing the update on the paint. If you remember the tape, the paint wasn't cured, and I had taped it up like crazy, and it wasn't paint residue, it was paint, just blotchy paint. Can't explain it, but wet sanded it all down, got it all looking quite a bit better. Repainted it with the same paint, same cheap Walmart paint, and we're back in business. Now the hood, on the other hand, is fighting me. This one has been painted 3 times and gone to the strip tank. And it's just come out of the strip tank again. It just refuses to be painted. It does not want to be painted, but it's going to be painted. No matter how many times I have to do this. I've never had plastic decompose by putting it in the strip tank too many times, so you know, I'll be patient. As you can see, I've sanded off the little emblems, so when this thing is painted, it's nice and smooth. But what keeps happening is I'll get the one speck of sand or something in there that ruins everything. Just like Crazy Man says, I have to go in there and try to pick it out with a toothpick, which is, you know, once the speck's in there, it's ruined. It's over. Just leave the speck in there and strip the speck out, because there's no way to correct it. Anyway, so the hood is refusing to be painted, but that gives a good look at, it doesn't give a good look at anything. Anyway, what I had done, you'll see the residue of the red. I was painting the bulge red, and it comes out looking really good, so I'm going to definitely persist that way. But I'm going to end this update because this is just a bunch of going around in circles, and I hope to have more to show next time. But I wanted to show that I'm definitely still working on the Mustangs and wet bikes. And this is, you know, the main current project, and happy to share with y'all. Y'all have a good one.